Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Apologies for the late start. A few minutes there. We had a couple of technical issues we were just overcoming. So hopefully technology is on our side for this webinar. So today we're talking about contact strategies in the age of AI. And if you are familiar with MaxContact already, this webinar coincides with the refresh of the MaxContact brand. So you are some of the first people officially to see it. It launched last night. So yeah, you're privileged. From a brand perspective, the market's changed, and it's a key theme throughout this webinar, actually, dramatically over the past few years. So things from AI adoption, evolving customer expectations, economic pressures, and we're very keen to keep evolving with it. So our platform's more powerful, our contact center expertise has grown, and we've really sharpened how we focus on helping our customers manage complex interactions and turn them into real results. So hopefully you like our new look, and you think it now reflects where we are and where we're heading. So just before we get started, we've got a couple of housekeeping items. We have the webinar recorded and it will be shared afterwards. So if you want to catch up at any point, you can do. We'll be sending it out via email after. Please use the Q&A panel as well. So we run these webinars live, as you can tell, with the late start. And that's really so that we can answer any questions that you have. So please use the Q&A panel, and me and Matt will get to those questions at the end. And if you do find the content useful, as ever, please share it with your team. So let me get on to our intros. So I'm Kayleigh Tait, I'm Marketing Director at MaxContact. I've had a part in driving the growth of the business and enhancing the brand through innovative strategies. I've got over 15 years experience across B2B, B2C, and have led successful marketing teams across various industries. So everything from telecoms, selling broadband to hundreds of thousands of people in the UK, commodity markets, to customer engagement technology today. A contact strategy as well is a crucial part of marketing and the marketing role. So I think I come at this topic today with quite a lot of experience of what has worked, what is working now. So hopefully I bring that experience to this webinar today. We also have Matt Yates. So Matt Yates is our VP of Engineering at MaxContact and has been with the organisation since April 2022. He's got over 20 years experience building high-performing engineering functions in SaaS enterprise environments. Matt leads the product and engineering team here at MaxContact and is focused on delivering innovative, reliable and compliant customer engagement technology. Before MaxContact, Matt spent quite a lot of his career, over a decade at AppSense, and ending his career there as Global Engineering Program Director, and where he successfully delivered a $10 million SaaS platform investment to the business. So brings a lot of experience to this webinar today, has held various roles across AutoTrader, AstraZeneca, Shell, and Matt has been very much involved in overseeing the rapid growth of MaxContact, aligning our engineering strategy with business expansion and evolving the company's AI roadmap. So Matt has got a lot to bring to today as well. Outside of work, Matt cycles, likes the gym and grows chilies. And if you're into music and vinyl and you pop by to one of our customer events or community events, that's definitely something that Matt can talk to you about. Right, they're the intros. So today we're going to start to go into contact strategy. We've got a little bit of research to share with you, and then we have a demo which we've prepared around our AI solutions that help contact strategies. And then Matt is going to tell us a little bit more from an AI side of things. So today we are talking everything about customer engagement and the challenges and opportunities that I think a lot of teams are facing, whether you're inbound or outbound. We've got rising expectation, disruptive technology, and then growing operational pressures as well. So on one side of things, customers expect more than ever before. They want instant answers, 24/7 availability, and service that does feel personalized to their situation with a context that matters to them every time. So speed and a choice and personalization aren't a nice to have. So think tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, they've really just helped shape a new baseline of what the consumer expects. I think we had this like 10, 15 years ago with brands like Apple and the user experience that people became accustomed to during that period of time. It's just taken it to a whole new level now. So on the other side of things, businesses are under intense pressure, budgets are tighter, teams are leaner, and leaders are being asked to deliver more that value with fewer resources. I think that's been a theme throughout my entire career, but it is feeling more acute than ever. And simply adding more people doesn't necessarily work in today's climate. From a tech side of things, we've got AI assistants, call screening, smart devices are changing how customers are connecting with us and often deciding whether to take calls or not, and whether calls should even be getting through to the end user on a mobile. And it's no longer about reaching customers, it's about getting their attention, earning their trust, and making the most of the moments that you have with the clients. So that's why today we're talking about how to rethink contact strategies. So it might sound a bit dramatic, but there has been a lot of change, and that means that contact strategies need to adapt, and how AI can support execution and help bridge the gap between what customers are expecting and what businesses are needing to realistically deliver has never been more important. So we're going to have a look at some of the latest research to really help frame that conversation. So today's customers, they don't want just prompt communication, they also want control. They expect to decide when, where, and how they connect with businesses as an organization. And they want to experience an effortless experience. The data tells that story. So 77% of customers expect to speak to someone immediately when they reach out to a business. 70% expect a reply to an urgent text within 5 minutes. So there's no time for delay on that one. And this becomes even more critical when it's in sales situations as well. So research shows that speed to lead, and it's something that I think as teams we've been talking about for many years, but it's something that can easily be forgotten, like the simple principle. But research shows that if you follow up with a lead within 5 minutes, you are 21 times more likely to qualify that lead than if you wait half an hour. Like that is dramatically different success outcomes based on that time. So that's why speed to lead is one of the biggest differentiators when winning and losing businesses or new business. The buying moment is really short. We're fighting for attention of consumers. So when someone is showing that intent, it's really important that we strike while that intent window is still there and while we have got the attention of the consumer as well. And if you don't connect quickly, someone else will. So that's where intelligent engagement software, predicted dialing comes in, but it's not just about making more calls, it's about being smarter and connecting the right agent or the right AI agent at the right time. So in short, customer patience has disappeared. In many markets, we have got increased competition. The barrier to entry for starting new businesses or growing businesses in some ways has become much easier to add to the noise that I think we're all in at the moment, depending on what market you're in. People have got shorter attention spans and there is information overload. Research from psychologist Gloria Mark, she tracked screen-based attention and found that in 2012, people focused on average on a single screen for about 75 seconds before switching a task. By 2023, that dropped to 47 seconds. So I'm sure we've all felt it. At the distraction that we feel when we're just focused on one screen is incredible. And technology is one way that we can help to make sure that we are addressing some of those challenges as organizations, and help meeting those customer expectations as well. So that technology shift that we're feeling today, customers are comparing every brand and interaction with your business. It needs to be seamless. They're used to asking questions and getting instant, relevant, human-sounding responses. And that's now a baseline of expectation. And these tools aren't niche anymore. For example, there's only over 20 million people in the UK that now use AI tools every month. And globally, this fact astounded me, there are more voice assistants than people. So these technologies are definitely embedded in everyday life, answering questions, screening calls, managing schedules, and filtering out noise. And all this is reshaping how customers connect with businesses. For outbound, the implications are being felt now, but they're probably going to be felt slowly, and that might compound over time. We're already seeing the use of AI call screening across iOS and Android devices. We've analysed over 1 million calls that we've seen, and less than 0.005% of them are being handled or connected to AI voicemails and call screening devices. So it is relative in terms of impact, relatively small now, but we expect that to grow over time. And although engagement impact is minimal, from a customer perspective side of things, they want that full control of their experience. So research shows that 73% of consumers said they would answer a call if they knew that the organization that was reaching out was about to reach out, and that they knew that there was a branded phone number, for example, the organization's name was showing up on screen before that call. So I think what this means really in summary is that outbound is not dead, but anonymous outbound is much more difficult. Things like GDPR, like a number of years coming in, obviously made that much more difficult anyway for many organisations, and it's not something generally a lot of businesses are doing today. It is warmer outbound where we need that clear strategy and execution. So if you're ringing someone and your identity, purpose, or brand is not clear within the first few seconds, you may never be getting through to that potential consumer at the end of the call. Carriers, applications, and AI screening tools are acting as those gatekeepers and allowing the customer to decide whether the call is being worth being answered. So successful teams will adapt to AI call screening with transparency, things like branded caller IDs and pre-call context, working with AI to increase scale, efficiency, and responsiveness to maximize every opportunity. So the old playbook has changed. How we are connecting with customers is definitely tougher today, but you're in control of how you adapt that contact strategy. That customer contact isn't broken. It's just evolving. And the businesses that are getting right are adapting fast, using data and automation to have a smarter approach to contacting businesses and consumers and connecting with customers in the right way. And we've seen it firsthand with customers like Redwood Group. They tripled their revenue, boosted contact rates from 15% to 50% after introducing smarter dialing strategies as well. So let's get on to some of those contact strategies before I hand over to Matt. So today, customers are harder to reach, yes, but businesses are succeeding today, and those who have evolved have looked at their outbound strategy to meet customers on their terms. They're picking the right tools in their contact strategy playbook to get in front of customers and demand their attention. So different ways we can do this is making sure that we are warming and pre-warming the conversation using different channels, whether that's SMS, it could be email, WhatsApp, are using digital channels to preempt the call, letting people know that this is about to happen. And yeah, from an organization perspective, if someone has put in their details on a comparison site form that they're expecting some sort of call out of the back of it, then they know it's coming. But I suppose from your side, the more preempts that you can do and help set that expectation with the context, look, you're going to be in touch. This is the number that's going to be in touch, the outbound dialer number. Expect the call, and that really will help increase the success of that outbound contact strategy and connecting that very first call. AI agents can really help as well in these scenarios. So whether it's an AI agent or an agent making some of these calls, AI agents really help when it's high volume, repetitive tasks. It could be a set of warmer leads where you did struggle to get in contact with them. It might be your 5th, 6th, 7th outbound contact attempt that you're wanting to, you don't want to give up at this point. There are still mileage in the data that you've got. So actually, AI agents can help you send a pre-call SMS, increase pickup rates, make the call, and follow up automatically, meaning that nothing is getting missed and the customer experience is still withheld. We do see answer rates rise when we've got that pre-call SMS. So rates rise to 62%, completion rates have hit 18%, all with using AI agents as well. So dependent on the different context of the conversation, the data that you have, it's about being intelligent with, okay, whether it's a high volume lead, you've got that speed to lead, you want a real person, an agent who's really well equipped to handle that lead efficiently. That might be attempt number 1 and attempt number 2. Attempt number 3 might be actually, we need more automation, the volume, the sheer volume that we're going after. We want that efficiency there, and that's where an AI agent can come in. So that is from an outbound side of things, where we're seeing contact strategies evolve. Inbound side of things, customers expect answers fast. They want to engage with your business on the channel of their choice. AI agents can greet customers, verify ID, resolve simple queries instantly, and free up your team to handle the higher value conversations that they need to be handling. AI agents don't replace people in this context. They are another channel for you to use in your contact strategy that can be used, again, at the appropriate time and place. And they help enhance your offering, creating that 24/7 coverage as well, which is always handy for faster resolution, out of hours, for low complexity, repeatable queries, but protect the customer experience with workflows and have very clear handoff points with detailed warm transfers to a member of your team should they need it. And then you've obviously got then self-serve, which isn't just cost-saving measures anymore. It's shouldn't just be seen as deflection either, but an intentional customer touch point. Nearly 80% of people prefer to solve problems themselves when given a choice. So from a customer service side of things, it absolutely makes sense. And AI agents are also there to support by delivering intuitive voice and chat-based self-serve options that are consistent and compliant, again, round the clock. So they're just a few of the different ways that we're seeing AI really support the contact strategy. And I'm going to hand over to Matt now, who will take us through some of the more detailed workflows, and then we'll show you a couple of demos as well of in action.
Great, thank you, Kay. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay.
Yeah, thank you, we can.
So just before we jump into demos, I guess just to reflect on Kay's introduction there and the slide in front of you, just to explain what that's all about. We take a step back, we see yet again that technology and the innovation associated with it is again driving businesses to continually challenge their existing processes and practices. Hence the need to reinvent the contact strategies as we reach out to customers and take inbound interactions as well. So how would a typical voice journey unfold? It starts relatively simple. Like Kayleigh mentioned, a proven way of doing this is to warm up the customer. So sending out a pre-call SMS. So it sets the context for the customer, creates that confidence and understanding and trust that they know when the call comes, that it is a valid call and the reason for the call is understood prior to them receiving that potentially as a cold call in the past. The AI agent, so we are talking specifically about AI voice agents here, will then follow up with an outbound call. And if it's missed, the system will send a text to inform the customer that they missed the call and the reason for calling, and that we'll actually try again in 24 hours time. The automation behind the scenes will then try again in 24 hours time, and it will keep that window open for a few days, up to 3 days, or customizable to yourself as to how you want to build your own customer journey. But the key here isn't necessarily just the automation, it's the consistency. Every single customer gets the same timely, compliant, human sounding experience, whether they answer on that first ring, the second ring, or the third ring 3 days later. So the demos, which you're going to see in just a few seconds, are all outbound, and they're all built using the conversational voice AI agents. And you're going to see a debt payment collection setup. We'll see a demonstration of vulnerability detection, and we'll also see a sales lead qualification demo as well, all using a similar intelligent contact flow. So just before Kay hits play on the demos, I'd urge you to look out for, just listen out for how, I guess, natural the voices sound. The conversations are much more naturally sounding as well, and how the AI actually adapts to what the person says in real time. Even the demo host, Todd, in his very northern, very nasal accent, the voice assistant does a great job of picking up on the nuances of Todd's voice. So take it away with the demos, and we'll return shortly to go into a bit more of a technical deep dive.
Thanks, Matt. So we've got 3 demos coming up now for you.
So now the data file's been uploaded, we can showcase the examples. The first we want to show off is the monthly payment plan setup. We'll just receive the call in a moment.
Hi Todd, I'm Lyra calling from MaxContact. Before we start, can you please confirm if I am speaking with Todd Vella?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I'm calling regarding your account with cloud broadband that we are handling. This conversation will be recorded for training and quality assurance purposes. Before we get into the call, can you please confirm your date of birth and the first line of your address?
Sure, my date of birth is July 28th, 1997, and my address is 11 North Road.
Okay, thanks. Great, that matches what we have on file, thank you for that. Now we're done with verification. The reason for our call is that the current overdue balance on your account is £125.50, due on the 1st of June 2025. Are you ready to pay now, or do you want to set up a personalised payment plan?
I can't pay right now. Can we set up a monthly plan, please?
Okay, thank you. Absolutely, Todd. I'm here to help you set up a monthly payment plan for the £125.50 balance. To get started, could you please tell me how much you would like to pay each month? And also, which date in the month would you prefer the payment to be taken?
Can I pay £25 each month, and can you take that on the 1st? Because I get paid late in the month and that just works best.
Okay. Just a second. Thanks, Todd. Paying £25 each month on the 1st sounds good. Now, could you please let me know your preferred payment method? For example, would you like to pay by direct debit, credit card, bank transfer, or make manual monthly payments?
Can I ring up each month and pay manually over the phone?
Thanks. Let me check. Thanks for letting me know, Todd. So, you'd like to make manual payments over the phone each month. Before I confirm everything, let's just check that paying £25 on the first of each month won't affect any important bills like rent or utilities. Will this amount be affordable for you without causing any difficulties?
Yeah, it won't have any impact on those.
Okay. Just a second. Thanks for confirming that, Todd. So just to recap, you'd like to pay £25 each month on the first, making manual payments over the phone. At this rate, it will take 6 months to clear your balance of £125.50. Does that sound right to you? And do you have any questions before we set this up?
That sounds good, and no additional questions.
Thanks. Just a second. Thanks for confirming, Todd. I'll go ahead and set up your monthly payment plan for £25 on the first of each month, with manual payments over the phone to clear your balance in 6 months. Thanks for speaking with me today and agreeing to the payment plan terms. If you need any help in the future, just give us a call. Have a great day.
Okay, so that was the monthly payment plan. So as you can see, the conversation began, a greeting took place, a right person check and identity and verification checks took place with my date of birth and the first line of my address. The system then matched those to what I had on file, and it did match, so we were the right person, and we passed those security checks too. So the system then asked if I was ready to make my payment, and I have to explain the purpose of the call there as well. As I said, I didn't want to pay right now, and I asked to set up a monthly payment plan. It took me down this route. In this route, it asked me, several questions. How much do I want to pay? What date of the month I want to pay? And then it checked the type of payment, how I pay. So I wanted to pay manually by ringing up each month. And then finally, it checked affordability, and that wouldn't impact any of my, really important bills. From there, it confirmed the payment arrangement and concluded the call. Okay, so the next use case I'll be showing is how the AI identifies a vulnerable customer and how that's dealt with accordingly. So we've uploaded the data file and the call should just come through momentarily.
Hi, Todd. I'm Lyra, calling from MaxContact. Before we start, can you please confirm if I am speaking with Todd Vella?
Yes, you are.
Thanks. I'm calling regarding your account with cloud broadband that we are handling. This conversation will be recorded for training and quality assurance purposes. Before we get into the call, can you please confirm your date of birth and the first line of your address?
Sure, it's July 28th, 1997 and 11 North Road.
Okay, thanks. Great, that matches what we have on file. Thank you for that. Now we're done with verification. The reason for our call is that the current overdue balance on your account is £125.50 due on the 1st of June 2025. Are you ready to pay now, or do you want to set up a personalised payment plan?
I can't pay right now. My disability is making it difficult for me to work and I can't afford it.
Thank you. I'm really sorry to hear about your situation, and I understand how challenging it can be. Your well-being is important, and we want to support you in any way we can. Let me transfer you through to the team to assist further. Thanks for chatting with me. Goodbye.
Okay, so similar to the previous case, we received a greeting and the recipient check was correct. Additionally, we performed the ID and V checks as we did with the previous call, and as they matched, we then were branched to ask to make a payment. From there, we stated a vulnerability, and the system responded in kind to the vulnerability that I've mentioned. From there, it responded nicely and offered to transfer through to the team to speak to a person. So another example I'd like to share is lead qualification. So that's the circumstance where you have a lead, but you need to ask a few further questions to ensure that they qualify and are still interested in the services you have to offer. So in this case, the AI is going to call the customer, ask those questions, and promote that transfer or arrange callback to continue that conversation. So I've just uploaded the file and the call should come through in just a moment.
Hello, this is Alex calling on behalf of Max Life. Thank you for your initial inquiry about our life insurance services. I'd like to confirm a couple of details and see how we can best support you today. Before we go any further, can I confirm I'm speaking with Todd Vella?
You are, yes.
Okay, thank you. Great, thank you. Let's continue. As part of the process, I just have a couple of quick questions. This helps us make sure we connect you with the right advisor. First, are you still interested in discussing life insurance options? And have there been any recent changes to your personal health that we should be aware of?
I'm still interested, and no, there hasn't been any health changes.
Perfect. Thank you for confirming. I'll arrange for one of our advisors to speak with you so they can walk you through the best options. I can transfer you to one of our team members now who'll be able to answer your questions directly. Would you like me to connect you?
Not right now. I'm a little busy. Can you call me back another time?
Thanks. No problem. We can arrange a call back at a time that suits you. What date and time works best for you to receive a call from one of our advisors?
Can you do next Monday afternoon about 1 o'clock? Should be free then.
Thank you. I've scheduled your call back for Monday, the 27th of October at 1 p.m. You'll also receive a text message confirming these details. Thank you again for your time today. You'll receive a confirmation SMS shortly. Have a great day.
Okay, so that was the example call. Just to recap, the pre-call SMS was sent, and then sometime later the call took place. From there, the right person check was carried out, and as we were the right person, it continued to ask the qualification questions. Once I'd answered those qualifications, the AI determined that I was still eligible for the service and still interested, so it asked if I'd like to be transferred through to an agent to continue the conversation. As I stated, I was not available. A callback was offered, and I stated the time I was available for said callback. The AI captured that information and booked that callback in. A post-call SMS was also sent to me regarding the outcome of the call, stating the callback could happen at the time specified.
That's great. So do you want me to continue on now, Kay?
Yes, please.
Cool. So yeah, if you can just bring up the next slide, please.
Of
And
course.
whilst that's loading, just a comment on the demos shared actually. So I think what stands out for me as I've been working with this technology over the last few months is not necessarily that the system talks, it's that actually the system listens. So these conversational AI agents, the interaction flows like a very natural, real conversation with pauses, clarifying questions, and it will adapt as the conversation progresses based upon the understanding of the customer. And that's where I think really this technology has kind of crossed a line over the last few months, if not the last 18 months, really, from very script-only, scripted automation to genuine dialogue. But I do want to make clear that this isn't just, and I think one of the questions in the chat alludes to this, this isn't actually kind of fully autonomous AI agents that make up that decide completely themselves what the outcomes are. It's very much what we refer to internally as a guided AI agent, because we understand how important it is for customers, our clients dealing with their customers, that they have guardrails in place. And so we refer to it as a guided AI agent. So yes, the agents do make decisions on their own based upon the intent understanding, but they're very much within certain parameters that we design in co-creation with yourselves, our customers. So we make sure there are clear guardrails in place so that the conversation can't veer off topic, and there's always the opportunity to drop through to a human agent as well. So very clear handoffs and built-in compliance logic. So how do these AI agents work behind the scenes? It starts with planning. So you, our clients, best understand the customers, and you'll understand those customer journeys. So the first step is to really understand which of your customer journeys you want to incorporate AI agents into. Here we're talking specifically about voice AI, but they could be chatbot AI workflows for more inbound scenarios. But for voice AI, we'd sit down and we'd plan out a customer journey, and we'd identify how a combination of a scripted customer journey, the right tone of voice from the voice assistant, and the intelligence from the AI model, the AI technology, will then all come together to ensure that a scripted conversation is directed towards a successful outcome. So at each of the nodes throughout the conversation flow, there will be different decision points. And it's there that we input the guardrails to ensure that only a certain amount of paths can be continued down through the conversation. So it's very much a hybrid guided AI agent workflow. We do use, and I do want to make the point with this actually, technology in this space has been moving so quickly this last few years that we made the conscious technology decision at the outset when we started building conversation analytics and AI agents to use best of breed technologies in that space. So best of breed AI models, best of breed text to speech services, and speech to text services as well, so that we can really focus on knitting that all together so that you've got those conversational journeys mapped out with best of breed technologies to create great customer experiences for your customers. The other aspect of this, I would say, is integration. So as we're building out these workflows, we can integrate with your CRM, with the payment provider, with another system that needs an update or has data, for example, to verify identity and verification. And then finally, as we go through time, you'll see these systems continue to improve. So the continuous learning aspect is a really exciting part of this technology, where it can learn from previous interactions. Click next, please, Kay. So we often talk about AI in the contact center, and we have been doing so for many years now. It's very much an evolution. You know, I think first of all, I'm sure we can all remember a good few years ago now, the introduction of bots or chat bots, very rule-based, script-based, and they were great, you know, at routing towards FAQs. They made self-service possible, but were limited in their ability to solve anything other than basic problems. We then evolved to AI assistants that absolutely are not a replacement for people. They are there to assist and augment our human capabilities. And they're tools that suggest next actions or summarize calls or automate QA, automate compliance checks, for example. And now we're in this world, this third evolution of autonomy, where we've got these AI agents. And these, you'll sometimes hear to them referred as agentic AI agents. The AI agent stage are systems that can reason and act, you know, not just react. Absolutely, they can act with full autonomy and make decisions themselves, but on that journey to that capability, we want to ensure that we do so safely and responsibly. Hence the need for the guardrails in place as we build out these conversational AI journeys. And you'll see that, you know, you saw that just a few minutes ago in the demos as well, where it was able to easily identify vulnerability, and even where some of the answers provided by Todd were not straight to the point, he was able to extract the intent and understanding very clearly and move on to the next stage of the conversation flow. So we're now in this world of AI agents where they can manage parts or all of a customer journey. You know, they could authenticate a caller, could resolve a billing query, might update the CRM, and they can bring in a human when judgment or empathy or the complexity of a challenge is such that it needs that human input. So, absolutely, this is the shift from, I guess, a reactive to a proactive service. And if you just click next, please. Okay, on the slides. I think the key thing for this slide for me is that this is here today. We're not talking about technology that's coming, a year, 2 years from now. This technology is available and in use today. They are available, they are scalable, and we've seen with some of our customers that they are having a real tangible impact on their ability to manage customer interactions. So definitely view them as, an augmentation of your existing human workforce. Which leads me nicely to, this slide here where we talk about, human plus AI, the new era of connection. We talked about tangible impacts. We're seeing very high containment rates in some customer use cases, the customer journeys that they map in through AI agents, meaning that the majority of customer interactions are resolved without escalation. We're seeing a high percentage of cases being resolved through things like automated payment plans that you see there, which leaves humans to focus on more complex challenges like dealing with complaints or more sensitive situations where human empathy and emotion is needed. From an operational efficiency point of view, one of the big benefits of using agents like this is that the cost per resolution can fall significantly. In one example, we've seen it fall from around about £23 per case to £8. That's a real quantifiable return on investment. Lower cost, higher efficiency, and a better experience for both customers and employees. But for me, I think what it really unlocks and what's really exciting is the possibility of what we can do going forward in an era where the consumer is becoming more and more savvy with tools like iOS call screening or Android call screening, for example. We need to find ways to enable the technology to drive increased engagement and better engagement. And that's really where technologies like the AI voice agents paired with the different digital channels of communication and customer understanding around personalization come in. So very much, I think the future of contact as we see it is that of a hybrid model. I think gone are the days of cold calling, for example, in an outbound scenario, or inbound straight to a support desk. There's a lot of opportunity now and a lot of options available dependent upon that customer journey that you're trying to satisfy and deliver against. And absolutely, I'd advocate, sitting down, identifying those customer journeys and just starting to map out where AI might be able to help within your contact centers today so that those AI agents and humans can work collaboratively side by side. So that's pretty much it for me, I think. I think there's one last slide, which is more of a rhetorical question around, think about where you are on the AI journey today. You're probably somewhere within one of these boxes on the screen. Hopefully everybody has been thinking about how to incorporate AI. The majority of them, I'm sure, already have incorporated elements of AI, whether it's conversational analytics, whether it's AI chatbots, conversational AI agents. Again, such an exciting space to be in within the contact center because there are so many opportunities where the technology and AI can help us achieve good levels of customer engagement, customer satisfaction, and operational efficiencies as well. And with that, I think I'm going to hand back to Kay.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Right, so we've got a few questions in the panel and the chat. So let me just go to the Q&A panel first. So a couple that have been answered in the chat, but it's probably worthwhile just revisiting those for everyone on the call. What impact are we expecting from the latest Apple Intelligence, where it reads out the voicemail message in real time on your phone screen? Is it going to have, I think, an impact on our PCs?
Yeah, so I entered that in the chat for Steve, but for the rest of the audience, so we've been keeping a close eye on this since Apple launched that feature as beta back in September, and our latest assessment, based upon analysis of just over 1.3 million outbound calls, is that with AMD answer machine detection off, we're seeing less than 0.37% of those outbound calls hitting a iOS call screening service. So it would indicate that the take up is relatively low. That said, when we look at the Android Google screening service, the take up of that was much lower. There are some industry press notifications that suggest global take up of that feature was about 4%, or certainly in the US it was around about 4%. So that may be where we end up getting to with the iOS feature, but I won't anticipate it gets much beyond that, but time will tell. Right now it's very low. That does highlight the need to have, you're doing outbound calling, to have really great, very clear, introduce who you are, why you're calling, in a way that initiates, a response from the caller, a call to action from the customer that you're trying to get in touch with. They are far more likely to hit accept the call when it comes through to them.
Thanks, Matt. This one I do think you've touched on, but I'll see if there's anything you want to add. So is this agentic AI or is it guided AI agent working within guardrails? Is there anything you want to add? I think you did cover it.
So I refer to it as guided AI. So absolutely, it's agentic AI. We are joining together, mapping together multiple different AI technologies, and delivering a customer experience and delivering a set of outcomes. And we're doing so in a very safe and structured manner. And the way we're doing that is because it's still partially scripted. So we are building up those customer journeys with our clients in such a way that they are partially scripted, and there is no way for the AI agent to veer off track. And there is always the opportunity to drop off and speak to a human agent as well. So yeah, a lot of the testing that we've done over this past few months has been focused on that area, and we're confident that our AI agents are safe to use, but they're not fully autonomous today. They will operate by themselves, but within those guardrails that we set.
Good, thanks, Matt. A couple of questions around how the AI agent handles a couple of conversation points. So if the customers interrupt the AI agent whilst it's speaking, how does it react?
So typically what happens is the AI agent will stop speaking, and it will aim to understand what the customer has just said, so understanding the customer's intent. So it will in effect pause and stop every time the customer starts to talk. You'll get very little to no examples of crosstalk like you can't quite often do with humans when they're talking. So it is a slightly different interaction type than speaking to an actual human being, but we found that it is very efficient, and they are very polite, these AI agents. They will not talk over a human.
Okay, thanks, Matt. This is in relation to payment plan and setting a payment plan up use case. If the customer who was setting up the payment plan wanted to pay, for example, £1, how would the AI handle a request that was a request to pay too slowly? So something that the company wouldn't be happy with.
So I talked about the guardrails a couple of minutes ago. So there are a limited number of scenarios that we will set up the AI agent to serve, for example, in this payment plan scenario. So where the conversation goes outside of those set boundaries, it will drop through to human agent. So it won't attempt, like I'm sure a lot of people on the phone have experienced just using ChatGPT day to day, ChatGPT will always come back with an answer, and it will always typically be a very positive answer because it's trying to be super helpful. The AI agent, because the guardrails we put in place, will not try and solve the problem that you're asking about if it's not part of that guardrailed, scripted workflow. It will drop through to human agent. Over time, again, as trust builds with using these AI agents, they will form the ability to handle a multitude of different inquiries and interactions. But with something as sensitive as setting up payment plans, we want to make sure those guardrails are in place.
Good, thanks, Matt. What LLMs are these AI agents pulling from?
Good question. So all our infrastructure is within Azure. So we use Azure services. We also use Google services, Google Cloud Platform services. And when we are interacting with an LLM, we always use the Azure or Google hosted OpenAI based services. And what that gives us is the ability to do so securely. But as we interacting with the OpenAI services, we send through a very small context with each of the requests that we pass through. So as the conversation flows through, we don't pass through the whole conversation. We pass through just the specific understanding, the specific context from the last few seconds, the last few sentences of the conversation as part of those AI nodes within the conversational flow builder.
Thanks, Matt. What does the AI do when a customer says, I don't like AI?
So if you indicate that you don't want to speak to AI, you don't like AI, it will acknowledge that and it will attempt to pass you through to a human agent. That is the default fail-safe where the AI agent encounters an intent understanding, so an output from the customer that doesn't fit one of the next logical steps in the flow. It will drop out into the human default handoff.
Okay, lovely. Good. So that is all the questions I can see. I think I've got through all of them. Just double check. Yeah, that's us done. So thank you very much for joining us today. Hopefully you've taken something away from it. There was a question around whether we'll be sharing the recordings afterwards. Yes, we absolutely will. We'll send it out via email shortly for you to share with teams. And yeah, hopefully you found it useful. If you've got any feedback, please let us know. Any questions, then you can reach out to myself, Matt, or Leah, or your account manager. But thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. And thank you, Matt.
Thanks all.
See you soon. Bye.